Welcome to the Gambling Show. I'm your host, TJ Carpenter, and if you're a fan of football and eating so much food that you pass out, this is the holiday for you. Prize Picks is daily fantasy simplified. Bears at Lions. This game is going to kick off at 9:30 a.m. on the West Coast, ensuring no one will have to sit through the crappiest game of the day. Yes, the NFL is doing you and your extended family a favor. Watching Bears-Lions would only force you to interact with relatives with which you have nothing in common and get into political debates with Grandma, who just got out of Facebook jail for calling Lindsey Graham a cuck. She doesn't have time to explain to you why that happened. She's got turkey to cook. It's not her fault Jeff Driscoll and Mitch Trubisky have been playing catch for the last 3.5 quarters. She's only got so much time left on this earth, and she wants to spend it with family. This game is going to suck more than your lesbian aunt's green bean casserole that's been sitting in her Subaru Outback for the last 4 days. The only hope this game has is that Mitch Trubisky has a long enough leash to commit at least 4 turnovers, hopefully resulting in defensive scoring by fat defensive linemen, reminding all of us that the golden age of Thanksgiving Day football was when John Madden was calling these games, and fully committing to the American gluttony that's made this a sacred holiday. Take the Bears and the over. Football is never better than when defenses are scoring all the points and quarterbacks can't lose their jobs, either because the starter is injured or they got drafted too high to get benched. Bills at Cowboys. The 4:30 p.m. game. If your Thanksgiving hasn't gone off the rails by this point, just let the NFL's most dysfunctional family take it from here. No, I'm not talking about Bills Mafia. I'm talking about your one and only Dallas Cowboys. Your father will be yelling at Jason Garrett through the television for having less of a spine than canned cranberry, and your mom will be in the kitchen pouring her 14th glass of wine as she washes the same dish for the next 3 hours. Now that I think about it, that's actually a perfect analogy for being a Cowboys fan. Jerry Jones was angrier than your racist uncle on Facebook earlier this week, and that means that Ezekiel Elliott and Amari Cooper will take turns getting the ball on every play for about a quarter until Jason Garrett turns to the pinkest tight end tandem in the league in Jason Witten and Blake Jarwin. And much like your undercooked turkey, tight ends are not supposed to be that color. Take the Bills to cover here. Jason Garrett, much like your mother, who is a terrible cook and yet somehow has been put in charge of the most food-centric holiday feast every single year, has no idea what he's doing. But we wish him well. But we do know that this will end in disaster and everyone ordering Papa John's pizza later, because Papa John's is the only pizza place that's open on Thanksgiving.
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days. Living currently in Mark Shapiro should be in jail. He has no pizza experience. Stay tuned. The day of reckoning will come.
I really just wanted an excuse to use this clip. Yes, the day of reckoning will come in the form of garlic crust. Saints at Falcons. The last game of the day, or as I would like to call it, the game no one will remember. If you are in a food coma at this point, have no fear. Matt Ryan and Drew Brees, the white meat of the NFL, are sure to wake you up. And then you can finish it off with a nice dish of Michael Thomas and Julio Jones, the pecan pie of the NFL. Also, Thanksgiving's most underrated dish. The best dish of Thanksgiving, if you ask me. It's kind of a sticking point. Nobody seems to talk about it. I have no idea why. It's the perfect game for families, mothers, and daughters who at this point are exhausted and are either asleep or in the bedroom watching a Lifetime movie marathon. Spoiler alert, the deadbeat dad is the villain in all of them. Which brings me to the Atlanta Falcons, the 5th most popular football team in Atlanta. We all thought that the Falcons were back, and then they got blown out by the Bucs, reminding everybody in Tampa Bay of their heyday back when, I want to say, Brad Johnson was their quarterback. It's a hell of a heyday. Now I know why they won't let go of Jameis Winston. Take the Saints here. No one's going to be awake for this game. And those who are will not be sober. Happy NFL Thanksgiving, everyone. Prize Picks is daily fantasy simplified.